What's up, friends? CNS Retro here. You'll have to forgive me in this video because I have not been feeling very well today, and I'm not sure if I want to even upload this video or not, even after editing out my rambling, because I'm about as foggy brained as I've ever been in my life. So I sound like I know absolutely nothing, and I look kind of like an idiot while I'm working on this old device. So please bear with me and check it out. If it's on the internet, even for a time, then I decided to upload it, obviously, and just be gracious with me. Anyway, so let's get back to the video. Hope you enjoy it for what it is. What's up, friends? CNS Retro here, and we've got something kind of interesting here to show you today. Let's see if you can guess what this is. I'm going to be wearing gloves because it's actually a little rusty, even though I've tried to clean it up a little bit, and I don't really want to cut myself on rusty metal, although plastic-based, rubber-based gloves probably won't do that much good, but for cutting, if I were to stab myself, but hopefully it'll keep anything from going in cuts I already have in my hands. So anyway, can you guess what this is? Yeah, it looks kind of bare bones and naked there. Well, maybe this will help if you haven't already guessed. That is a vintage floppy drive from the first computer that my family owned in the early 90s. So what's happened here is that it's gotten dropped, and this front part of the frame has been bent, and that's causing this to look very strange and not seat properly on the front of the device. Now, we're not going to get this hooked up and running and everything. I do not have one of the vintage cables. I can see there's a Molex power adapter there, which actually kind of surprised me, but I don't recall what this is called. You can let me know with a friendly comment in the comment section below, if you would, what that adapter is. I could do a quick Google of it and find it myself, but I haven't thought to do that yet. So all I'm going to do is just bend that back in place. This is just kind of just a fun little, retro view of some things. So let's get right into it. Nothing terribly fancy here in terms of video quality. I'll try to arrange this so you can sort of see what I'm doing. And this is going to be a little bit of a hack job here. Oh, great. Oh, I don't know where that went. It's going to be necessary for... Oh, there it is. It's going to be necessary for... rotating the load mechanism, which, if you take a look at that, hold on a second, backwards, this is kind of cool. If you look, this spinning object connects in. If you look at this wheel, if you can see that white wheel, does not activate by this until you flip that into place, and then it can spin the floppy disk once that is latched in there. Excuse my speech patterns today. I've been quite out of it. I'm having some grogginess today. Let me just fidget with this a little bit more and see if I can get something better to happen here. This is... That looks better than it did. This is not at all what I would consider any form of repair, and I don't even know if this thing will work anymore based on the collapse that it had, but it was quite epic. I didn't think too much of it at the time, but upon inspecting it shortly afterwards, I realized that it was actually a pretty bad fall. And that happened recently. This thing wasn't in bad shape when my dad gave it back to me. Well, he found it, and he was like, "Hey, found this thing." We were actually looking for a vintage video card, and he came across this. Well, that looks functional. It's not ideal, but the faceplate is on there, and it's not contorted and looking like it's been thrown on the floor with malice aforethought, so that's what we were going for there. Let's put the lever back on. That's working. Okay, great. Now we just get this case back together, and we've essentially got things straightened out. Really no video content whatsoever, and just a video of my chin moving while I ramble incessantly. But we, ladies and gentlemen, have fixed, with big air quotes around it, a what is this, a 5.5 inch, 5.25 inch, I forget the exact measurement. This is a full-size vintage floppy drive back when the floppies were actually floppy and held whopping kilobytes of data. I don't have the exact specifications on me at the moment because I haven't used one of these in, I mean, we're talking early 90s. But check it out. Now, there were different types of floppy disks around, obviously, before this. The first Apple computer and, well, the Apple, like 128K, for example, I think, which was around in 85 or 86. Anything that I say that is invalid, please just be friendly and correct me in the comments below. I am open to discussion. I just ask that we keep positive. I kind of went into this completely blind and didn't look anything up, so forgive me with all my brutality to this vintage device and not really knowing exactly what I'm talking about here. But there were smaller form factor floppies, I believe, you know, before this particular unit. I'm not sure in the lineage which one came along, but this was still, you know, in the 91, 92 computer we had. It was a 33 megahertz computer. I think it came originally with 4 megabytes of RAM. It was a 486, 33 megahertz, and I think we upgraded it to a maximum of 16 megabytes of RAM. Whopping 16 megabytes of RAM. It had Windows 3.11, Windows for Workgroups, and I think it was DOS 6.22. Possibly upgraded to DOS 7.3, I want to say. I don't know if that's right. So there you have it. Yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's something to sit on the rack. Unfortunately, it's gotten bruised up with a bad fall while I was transporting it. But here it is. So it's just a nice hunk of junk to have around in my collection, I guess. But you can see rust spots all over the bottom there. So let me know, did you guys ever have one of these large floppy drives? Yeah, did you ever? I know that my dad scared himself to death one night. He accidentally stuck a CD in here And he called the computer guy that was a friend of ours, and he's just like, you just turn the tower forward and pop it a couple times and it'll fall out. And it did, but it also apparently dislodged the video adapter. And I hesitate to call it a video card because that thing was a piece of junk, but so he didn't know what to do about that. So we had to have the guy come in and fix it. You know, I was a kid, so I didn't know what to do at that time. But I started working on computers a little bit afterwards, and yeah. So did you guys ever have one of these? You ever stick a CD in there by accident? Let me know in the comments any interesting stories you have about one of these devices. So, alright, well, here's to making better videos for you guys, because I'm sure that was pretty lousy. But you never know what you're going to get into in here and CNH Retro. So, until next time, be amazing. If you can't be amazing, be incredible.